Hi, I'm Kevin Creighton with ShootingIllustrated.com. Today on iCarry, it's the Glock 44 chambered in .22 long rifle and carried in a Dark Star gear holster. So a while back, I had a student in one of my concealed carry classes bring a gun like this to the shooting portion of the test. And I thought, well, that's cute. I mean, it's .22 long rifle. I'm not going to yell at her too loud because, 22 should be carrying a Glock 19 in 9mm because, well, because. But then I got a chance to shoot her gun, and this big grin came on my face. This thing is so much fun to shoot. And a light bulb went off inside my head, because I had recently read In the Gravest Extreme by Masada Ayub, which is one of the absolute classics of the self-defense industry. And in there he mentions that a person who trains and practices regularly with a .22 and has one near them at all times is far superior to a person who carries a 1911 and leaves it at home when they go out, which I thought was interesting. And then I got to shoot this gun using some of the modern ammunition out there, like the Winchester Silvertip, the Federal Punch, and even classics like CCI's Velocirators. And all of a sudden, I saw that those were going and making the FBI minimum standard for penetration into gel. And I thought to myself, it may not be my first choice for all my students to carry, probably isn't my second choice, but is it better that they carry one of these and carry it all the time and be able to hit what they're shooting at, rather than buy something that they're never going to practice with, never going to carry, and don't really like? Yeah, actually it is. I would much rather see my students carrying this around with them than leaving their guns at home. So, is it the best defensive pistol out there? No, not at all. Is it an effective defensive pistol? Can be. Is it going to be better than leaving it at home? Absolutely. So let's take a look more and see what this gun can do. Now, the .22 caliber Glock 44 does have some features in common with its 9mm cousin, the Glock 19. The grip and the frame feel almost identical, and the trigger pull is really close to what a Glock 19 is. However, the Glock 44 carries just 10 rounds of .22 long rifle, and honestly that's not a lot, especially if you want to use it as a defensive pistol. I can understand why Glock did this, because the .22 caliber long rifle has a rimmed case, and that can cause some issues if you try and use it in a double stack magazine that would hold more rounds. So yeah, it's a great gun, but be aware of its limitations. The beautiful thing about the Glock 44, however, is that it's a terrific double-purpose gun. It works great as a training gun and can serve as a defensive pistol. Probably a Glock 19 would be a better option for most people, but for some, honestly, it's better than carrying nothing. And because the Glock 44 and the Glock 19 can use the same stuff, I've chosen to highlight my everyday carry holster, which is a Dark Star Gear Orion. Really rugged holster. It has put up with a lot of abuse that I've given it over the past 2 years. It's comfortable, appendix inside the waistband holster, and I use a foam wedge on it to give me a little more leverage and push the gun into my belly a little bit more. You want a better understanding of how this works? Go to ShootingIllustrated.com and look for an article that I wrote on concealment mechanics. This gives you a good idea of how a wedge and the wing on the side of this holster helps conceal your gun better. The Dark Star Gear Orion is well built, Kydex holster. I use the version with the pull-off loops. There are other attachment points available, but you can see it's a well-worn and well-loved holster that's been in use now for a couple of years and doesn't have an end in sight. I'm a big believer in the utility of an everyday carry flashlight, and in much the same way a Glock 44 is kind of on the edge of something that you might want to carry with you every day, and it's maybe not necessarily the most powerful thing out there, but it's something that you can definitely use and use well. Well, the Surefire Sidekick is that sort of light. Is it the biggest light out there? No. Is it the brightest light out there? Also no. Is it a light that you can carry with you pretty much everywhere and use with you anytime you need a flashlight? Absolutely. It's got 3 power settings, and one of them has got 300 lumens, which is enough to really cause some distraction if somebody's bothering you. But it also goes down all the way to 5 lumens, making it a really useful, really handy, really great everyday carry flashlight. I like this light a lot. I recommend it to all my friends. Now, for more information on the items we've chosen for today's iCarry and to see other episodes of iCarry, be sure to visit ShootingIllustrated.com.